I'm Kaylee, and this is my week 2 update for the 30 books in 30 days readathon. I have been enjoying it so much. It's just been read all month long, you know, and I'm really enjoying it. So I've got a stack of books here for us to go through of what I've been reading in this past week. I actually had like a whole schedule set up for myself of, I'm going to read this day and read this the next day, and had it all lined up so that Sundays and Wednesdays, when I don't have a lot of time to read, are more like short stories or really easy graphic novels. And then I have some of the bigger books set up for other days when I do have time to read. Well, that schedule is just completely out the window now because I got excited about reading certain things and I just went off schedule. So you know me, I love to set a schedule, but I also love to break the schedule and just kind of end up doing my own thing. So, So one of the things I've been enjoying is reading some short stories from Agatha Christie. This is a short story collection called 13 for Luck. So it's 13 of Agatha Christie's short stories. The first group of these, because they're all grouped together, the first group is Hercule Poirot, and then the next group I think is Miss Marple, and then there's a group of a couple ones from Parker Pyne and some Tommy and Tuppence at the end. So these first couple ones that I read have been Hercule Poirot. So of course I have enjoyed them. So I read The Veiled Lady and I read The Market Basing Mystery. Now, unfortunately, both of those are ones that I've already seen that mystery on the TV show. Like, I'd never read it before, but I remember that episode from the David Suchet Poirot TV show. So I already knew who done it. I already knew the big plot twist and the big ending. And so it was kind of like, it took a little bit of the magic out of it when you already know the ending, you know. But I still really enjoy Agatha Christie's writing style, and both of these are told from the perspective of Hastings, and I just adore Hastings. And so I did still enjoy them, even though I already knew the ending. So I really loved those. I got really excited reading some more from the Roswell High TV, I love the TV series, and this is the book series. The thing is, I just got so excited to read a bunch of these that I just kept reading and then kept reading, and now I'm in the middle of the last book. Like I just got really into the story, and the thing is, each one of these ends on a cliffhanger. Like one of the cliffhangers is they're literally in a burning building, like trapped in the flames, and the book ends. And it's like, how are they gonna get out? Well, you have to pick up the next book to find out how they're gonna survive, you know? So because of those cliffhangers, I just kept reading and reading. So I finished The Rebel, and then I finished The Dark One, and then today I'm right in the middle of the last book of the series. This is the 10th book. This is The Salvation. So finally, everything is going to be wrapped up, hopefully with a happy ending for everybody at the end of the series. So I'm about halfway through. I'll probably finish this by the end of the day. I've really been enjoying these. I mean, I know they're really dorky, 90s teen fiction, but I just have such a love for the old Roswell TV show that it has just made me really care about these characters. And so even though the writing is kind of dorky and everything, I still really have been enjoying these. So hurrah, I love those. Okay, what else do I have? So I read this first 2 books of The Diary of an Accidental Witch. The first book is New Girl, and then the second book is Halloween Ball. When I started looking this up online so that I could, mark it on my Goodreads and stuff, I got really confused because a lot of places online it says that the second book is called Flying High. It's like a totally different book. So apparently when it's been published overseas, in Great Britain, I'm assuming, or in Europe or something, then these 2 books, which are being published separately in the United States, were published as one first volume. So like the first story was broken up into these 2 volumes. So now in the United States, the second book of the series is Halloween Ball. But when it's been published elsewhere, these two books were actually just one book, and then the second book is something else. The thing is, you can really tell. In my review of the first book, I mentioned how it just seems like it just ends. It's just like the end, over. And what? Nothing was resolved. It's just like there's this story arc going, and then it just stops at the top of the story arc. And then you finally get the rest of the story arc in book 2. So in my opinion, that was a bad decision on some editor's part to split this story into 2 books. It just doesn't work. It feels really awkward. You don't have a complete story arc, but I'm assuming it's probably because, money, and they want to sell more books, so they decided, let's split this first one to be 2 separate books. I don't know. Why did they do that? I don't know. Anyway, other than that, I really enjoyed this. It's really cute and funny, and I just loved the main character, Bee. She accidentally gets enrolled into a witch school, but she doesn't have any magic. So she's trying to just kind of survive and not get anyone to notice her and, just kind of fool her teachers into thinking that she can do the homework when really she can't because she doesn't have magic. Until her dad can fix the mistake and get her enrolled in a normal school, but of course, as she goes along, she begins to discover that she might have some hidden talents, and she starts to make some friends among the other witches at her school, and she finally starts to fit in a little bit. So I love this because it kind of is just so relatable, because we all feel that way. We all feel like I don't fit in, or I am completely inadequate for the things that are being asked of me. I do not have the skills that I need to survive this, So I really liked that, because we all feel like this has got to be a mistake. I don't belong here. But then eventually she does start to feel like she does belong, and she makes some friends and everything. And it has some really cute illustrations all the way through, so I thought that was just a fun little addition. It's so funny. These books are just so hilarious. They're really, really funny. So I'm hoping to read more from this series as they are being rolled out in the United States. So they're being published little by little in the US. So really loved those. I read the second book in the Nick and Tesla series, Robot Army Rampage. So I really love this. I talked about it in my previous update, because they actually have these, let me see if I can find one. There's an experiment that you can do, right? So you can actually create your own hoverbot for this one. So it's all these different, very simple robots that you can make with like a small little motor in it that makes it buzz around or something like that. And the mystery was really fun, and I just love the characters, the dynamic between the siblings, Nick and Tesla. So they're living with their mad scientist uncle, and it's hilarious, and it's so smart. Like, it's just so clever. I love those kind of really clever plots and everything. There's that big plot twist at the end that took me by surprise. And of course, all the cool science-y robot stuff. So I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave this 4.5 stars or 4 stars or something. Loved that one. And then I've been reading through some manga classics of Shakespeare. I read Romeo and Juliet. Now this is the modern English edition. So they have modernized Shakespeare's language. Most of Shakespeare's language is still there. It hasn't been, too drastically changed. But some of it is certainly modernized. The these and thous have been taken out and everything. So you guys have heard me talk about manga classics over and over. I just love these so much. And Romeo and Juliet is one of my favorites, mainly because just the artwork is so gorgeous. Like, it's just so pretty. Oh, I just love it. So this one was really enjoyable to reread this. I've already read it a couple times before. So that was really fun. And of course, I picked all of these Shakespeare ones up to participate in Shaktember. So I really love reading Shakespeare in September because it fits so perfectly with 30 books in 30 days. Because you can read a Shakespeare play in a day, fairly short. And then you get to just share some wonderful Shakespeare with everybody in September. So I really, really enjoyed this one. One of the things I like in particular about this edition is that at the very end, you know, everybody's dead and it's all bloody and horrible, but the very last panel is of Romeo and Juliet together as if they have been reunited in the afterlife. So it kind of ends on this hopeful note, despite it being a tragedy. So you kind of get a little bit of a more positive kind of spin at the end, like, oh, they've been reunited in heaven or something, you know. So I kind of like that. I feel like that's just a nice little touch at the end. Okay, and then the other one, the last one I have to talk about today is when Dad's hair took off. So Dad has a full head of hair, okay, but then his hair decides, I am sick of just sitting around to be combed and brushed, and so horrors! His hair just jumps off of his head, and his hair goes on a little adventure, and Dad is running around trying to catch his hair. So this is really funny. I feel like this is kind of a cross between a picture book, but then it's kind of more like a chapter book because some of it will be a little more lengthy, you know. So, and it's hardcover. I don't know, it looks more like a chapter book, but it reads more like a picture book, I guess. It's somewhere in between. But this was really hilarious and funny. And this had me laughing because this was so, so cute. And I loved the cute little illustrations and everything. And just adorable, just adorable. One of the funniest things though is that the hair goes on all these adventures across the world and it sends him back postcards saying like, wish you were hair. So he's just like, this dumb postcard. And it's funny because he can still grow a beard. It's just the hair on the top of his head that has gone, you know, gallivanting across the world. So that one has been really fun. So that's quite a nice big stack there of books that I've been reading in the last week, and one more that I still need to finish today. So please leave me a comment and let me know, what have you been reading this past week? Have you read any Shakespeare, or just have you been reading, you know, really short books for 30 books in 30 days? Or even if you're not participating in any readathons, you know, this month, then just let me know, what have you been reading recently? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world. Thanks for watching. Bye.